Hello everyone, this is Nick of the Extra Hairy Variety. How are you all going? Time to jam a bit more Magic Arena, and today we're going to do some Constructed on a bit of a pet deck of mine. This is a Naya deck that I've been playing around with, sort of a mid-range slash aggro deck. Definitely the curve's a bit too high to call it a true aggro deck, so that's why I sort of nicknamed it a mid-range deck. But it basically just has a lot of really powerful, aggressive creatures, some decent little mini combos amongst everything going on. I really like the red-white color pair and using Heroic Reinforcement as a way to sort of capitalize on some really aggressive strategies. But adding green allows us to do some pretty fun things. In fact, I'll be honest, I've built several decks around Heroic Reinforcements just with a different third color, just to try and find the best ways of utilizing it. I quite like Naya at the moment because of the cards we got from Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiances. Specifically cards like Gruul Spellbreaker, Tajik, Knight of Autumn, that kind of stuff in the 3-drop slot. Just a lot of powerful aggression and utility. A couple of copies of Rhythm of the Wild just for a bit of value, but it's not a card I'm relying on too heavily. It's not the kind of card that you want to have multiples of in your opening hand. It's kind of awkward. Some pretty fun interactions here. We have Pel Collector, which sort of scales really nicely with the rest of the creatures in this deck. Basically, any 2-drop will grow it after it comes into play. Really powerful if you go Pel Collector on turn 2 and Tajik on turn 3, because then you can swing with a 3/3 Pel Collector. It grows from the enter the battlefield ability of Pel Collector from the other creature, and Tajik also mentors it, which is really dumb and fun. Even Gruul Spellbreaker can grow it once and then immediately swing. Knight of Autumn is a great toolbox answer card that I quite like. Imara, I find very, very interesting. A lot of people are playing this in the kind of go wide Selesnya decks, or at least they were until that sort of dropped out of the meta. But it's actually kind of fun to play alongside Tajik. It allows you to swing out with Imara more often than you'd be able to, and that just helps you go wider and wider. Indeed, a lot of this deck's about going wide. We have a great thing to protect and pump the team with Shalai. We have Tristani to make more and more tokens and just pump an entire team. Again, Heroic Reinforcements help us go wider as well. And if we need just a big bomb on the top end, we have Lyra. Also, Huatli. Very, very impressed with this Planeswalker. 3 loyalty for 5 mana doesn't seem fantastic, but the fact that she can make dinosaurs every turn if your opponent can't swing into her, she can gain you life in some very clutch situations. She can also just act as a relatively inefficient removal spell, which is fine considering she can also do all the other things as well. I actually had the new Domri in this deck for a little while, and I just wasn't impressed with how it performed. Huatli, I actually quite like as a one-off here. Also Flower and Flourish just to improve our mana. Surprisingly relevant in some of the early turns when we don't have a turn 1 or 2 play, although we usually do based on how this curve goes. One card I'm really looking forward to playing with in this deck when War of the Spark comes out is Tulsima, another 5-drop that helps us go wide and get a bit of life gain. I actually think more often than not it's a better answer than Tristani at answering the things that I need to answer, although Tristani does have a higher ceiling because she can pump an entire team and Tulsima can't do that. I'm thinking I probably go for a bit of a split, maybe 2 Tulsima, 1 Tristani, or 1 of each. I don't know. It does also bring into question Lyra. Lyra is fantastic against the red decks, but so is Tulsima, and Tulsima might just be a better answer overall, making more bodies. It's probably more about what I want. It could be 2 Tulsimas and 2 Tristani and just cutting Lyra altogether and putting her into the sideboard. Not sure there. I've fiddled around with this deck quite a few times. I really like the kind of things it can do. I like that it has a decent amount of toolbox answers to just scale nicely against other decks. I find Mono Red's a bit of a hard matchup. Gates is a pretty hard matchup, but overall it seems to perform quite well. So we're just going to jam a bunch of best of 1 ranked matches and see how we go with this. Okay, Keyzor, good luck. Having a Nissa avatar off here. Okay, what do we got? So we do have our turn 1 Lana Royals, which we can then go turn 2 Tajik. Don't have double white for Lyra, but I think that's fine for the time being. Yeah, we'll keep this, see what happens. I feel like I do have to tweak this mana base a bit more. The double white on Lyra is surprisingly difficult sometimes. Hopefully this isn't mono red with a shock. Nope. Okay, so we're probably up against Gates here. we might be off to the races. Hello, opponent. How are you? Alright, let's get this in untapped. Get there with Tajik. Tajik is actually a nice bit of tech against gates because he actually protects all of my other creatures from gates ablaze, which is kind of fun. So opponent would open the gates in double forest. There might not be gates then. Okay. Fair enough. This gives me a chance to go heroic reinforcements and swing out with Tajik. Really put my foot on the gas. If my opponent isn't gates and they are mono green, just playing some open the gates. I feel pretty good about that. Lethal on board. Opponent, what are you going to do? Lethal on board with this mentor trigger anyway. That's fine. Yeah, sure, okay. That sells it. Yep, just play this guy, haste him out. Easy game. Easy game. GG opponent. We'll boost the Lana Royals just so they can't kill that. Not that it matters. Just a good habit to get into. And we got there. Not sure what my opponent was doing there. Mono green deck. Dragon Kokusho. Good luck. We have all our colours, but this Clifftop Retreat's coming in tapped. Yeah, I might even Amara first. Can't play Justice Strike, which is annoying. I think I'll keep this. It's a little bit risky. The question is, do we ramp first, or do we play Amara on turn 2 first? Amara feels pretty bad. I'm actually going to ramp first. I don't really mind if Lana else gets shocked here. Also, I might get lucky and draw an untapped white source for Night of Autumn. That could happen. Although if this deck's lacking one thing, it's untapped white sources. Yeah. Lava Coil on that feels okay. This is not great against the mono red deck because it just dies to shock. At least doesn't cost 3 mana. We've got opponent. Yep, I'll take the 4 damage. Against risk factor, you don't give the mono red deck 4 cards that early. I can't even Night of Autumn. Nah, it sucks. Yeah. So we've stumbled. I think the mono red deck's going to get here. I mean, this is a tough matchup as it is. My opponent's got to have some pretty bad cards. I imagine they're just going to shock it or lightning strike it. Oh, mind you, they fight off a Lava Coil in turn 2. So the chance of them having a shock is pretty low. Chain Whirler. That's pretty good. Noticing more and more Chain Whirlers these days. Yep, that's super, super awkward. I feel like scooping here, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Yeah, that eats to get you Lava Runner. Stumbling on mana is not ideal. This deck is not running a low amount of lands, so this shouldn't happen most of the time. And mono red just doing mono red things. This isn't like a nuts mono red draw. Yeah. That pretty much does it. I don't have an answer to this. I'm just going to go to the next game. GG opponent. GG. Especially if they're going to draw 4 cards. Ooh, not interested in that one little bit. Okay, let's continue on. I feel like this deck might do a bit better if I'm playing best of 3. Just because I've got good answers in my sideboard if I want them, like the full set of Night of Autumns and stuff like that. Matrala. Good luck. Seems alright. Not exciting. 1 drop, 3 drop, 5 drop. We're going second here. Get that. White, the fairest of basic lands. Yep, Leonin Vanguard. Don't mind going up against the lifelink deck. It's very dirtly and I can just go over the top of it. Feels like a pretty solid matchup most of the time. Impassioned Orator. Fair. Fair. I'll take 1 damage. Take 1 damage. I don't mind killing this early. The fact that my opponent offered the trade means they probably don't have a turn 3 creature. Let's just get you in tapped. No attacks. Just play the waiting game. My opponent has lifelink engines here, but none of them are really that scary. It's strange that my opponent offered that trade when they were going to boost the Leonin Vanguard the next turn. I guess they're just scared about what this Pelt Collector can do. In other decks, Pelt Collector is generally more powerful. This is just absolute gas. 1/1 flyers. I'm always so happy to see them because it's basically a free kill against Cruel Harpooner. Unfortunately, they do gain 1 life because of the fight effect. Opponent might be thinking of a pump spell. I'll trade Cruel Harpooner for a pump spell. That's fine with me. Also, it grows Pelt Collector. I like the way these 2 cards line up. Yep, that's fine. I still kill it though. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, you can 2 for 1 yourself, opponent. I don't mind that. Decline. Okay, sure. Because of the way that works, because of the timing, there's actually no way to exploit that. Because as that trigger resolves, I get to choose. I can Heroic Reinforcements here. Just give my opponent a bunch of really bad blocks. And then I can Shalai the next turn. Or do I just Shalai here? And then Heroic Reinforcements the next turn. Also, Shalai grows Pelt Collector. Yeah, that's the tiebreaker. That's a good tiebreaker. Also blocks the Healer's Hawk, so they lose their repeatable life gain. Do I offer Cruel Harpooner? Not with Heroic Reinforcements in my hand. No, I think I can go over the top of this. What they're doing. Hopefully this is not Najani's Pridemate in their hand. That's the one card that I am a bit worried about. That's going to grow very, very fast here. Okay, Conclave Tribunal and Shalai, that's fine. Don't mind that trade there. Especially considering I have a Knight of Autumn in hand. They've got to do some really ugly blocks now. Start putting my foot on the gas. Do it. Get in there. Opponent. Taking it all. Okay. My opponent isn't exactly crushing me on the backswing. Swing back for 7. Potentially more if they have a pump spell. Keeping the Orator back. Yeah, that's fine. Lyra's not bad. I think Knight of Autumn, yeah, because it gives me 1 blocker and it also gives me Shalai back. That's fine. Let's swing out. Nah, I want Shalai. I want Shalai. So, I won't. Opponent got a lot of combat tricks in this deck. Probably more than I'd prefer. That's okay. Nice. It is nice, opponent. Thank you very much. Land! Opponent showing off their lands. Okay. They got no cards in there. See, this is why when you have 1 card in hand it's in a land, you probably don't play it, because now I can play Cruel Harpooner, and I know my opponent can't blow it out, and that gets rid of Healer's Hawk. And I think that pretty much means I'm turning a corner. It also means I have mana up for Justice Strike, which I'll fire off regardless. Yep, we'll do it now. On the Impassioned Orator, that also shuts down Leonin Vanguards. That feels fine to me. Opponent scripts it up. Yep, cool. Yeah, the life gain decks. I don't know. I just generally find they're not that threatening or imposing, but you do seem to see quite a lot of them in ranked for some reason. Not saying they're terrible. I just find in my own experience I don't have too many issues with them, unless I'm playing mono red. It's a risky keep. Double Llanowar Elves can do some pretty dumb things if I get to my red mana. Chef Goldblum? Nice. My opponent found a way. Okay, what are we doing? Blue. Not following that up with a turn 1 Mistcloak Herald makes me feel pretty happy. Weaken Lyra next turn. For what that's worth. My opponent plays an island and passes. That makes me think Essence Scatter. Lyra is really good against the mono blue deck if I can stick it. Which makes me not want to play it because it's so good. So I'm not going to. I'm going to wait for him to tap out. You're not going to wait for me to attack? Sure. That's fine. I don't mind that. Don't mind that one little bit. Yeah, if they play a Tempest Djinn here, I can just go over the top of this. Really want my red mana. Good sign. Let's see if I can draw something out. I mean, I don't think they're going to do something for the sake of one. Wizard's Retort. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. They've got the counter. Another Trickster. I usually find the mono blue matchup is fine. It's just about whether we stumble or not, and we're stumbling at the moment. Not getting this red mana. No, you can have your 3 damage opponent. I mean, my opponent's not drawing the mono blue nuts. There's no Curious Obsession. Oh. And if they counter it, I'm pretty stuffed, but just going turn after turn with no plays hurts. Ah, there's the stop. Oh, no. Yep, there comes a Wizard's Retort. Maybe I left it too long. Essence Capture. Dang, that's really bad. I mean, this can happen. I think our mana base does need a bit of work. And I've built it mainly just by grounding dailies and that kind of stuff. I haven't like bought a mass amount of packs to get gold or anything like that. So, pretty good considering. They've got counter mana up again. This is pretty bad. As I said, generally happier with this matchup, but opponent can just keep swinging, leave up mana. That's not going to help me. 3 life. No. Good game, opponent. Can't do anything about that. Alright, Ulysses Bahia in this. Good luck, whatever your name is. This is not too bad. I've got Flower to get my white mana. Rhythm could be relevant in some matchups. I've often found with this deck, with Rhythm of the Wild, I just never play it. Which is why I'm only really playing 2, especially against mono red. You gotta get your creatures out. You gotta keep answering their stuff as fast as you can. It lets you go over the top of mono red, but you just rarely have enough time to react to it. Hopefully I can get a win against mono red. I think I probably want my white mana. No, let's get mana. They're probably just going to shock land of War Elves. Keep hitting my land drops. Make sure I get to Night of Autumn on time. Get that life gain. Try and turn the corner with Tajik. I've got a plan. It's not a runaway Steamkin. They're thinking about leaving it back. Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging, opponent. That gets that in untapped. That feels pretty good. This lines up so badly against that Viashino Pyromancer. I still think I'll play it. And I potentially just take the trade if they offer it. Yeah, I think I'd take that. I think I'd take the trade. I don't have the option anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, mono red is really tough for this deck. Like Night of Autumn though, it'll eat a burn spell or block a creature, eat that Fanatical Firebrand. That feels okay. Give me a bit of life gain. Light up the stage. We got a Frenzy. They're not going to get to it though, which is very handy for us. 2 Night of Autumns. I feel like if this Night of Autumn sticks, I can then Tajik and then start swinging. Let's just gain life. Got another one to back it up. That feels pretty good, actually. Gives me a chance to get this stomping ground in. It's just about gaining me life and preventing life loss elsewhere, so if it trades for a firebrand, that's okay. It's already gained me life. Get you lava runner. Yeah, that's a problem. Swing for 5. Gruul Spellbreaker is interesting here. I think I get this down first. Just keep pressuring their resources, force them to use a card against it, and give me a bit more life. And I Gruul Spellbreaker next turn. Well, opponent, that is annoying. I will give you that. Chainwheeler's rough. Chainwheeler is a rough card. It's just how things are, though. I don't have enough mana to play Tajik and give it first strike. We are not in the business right now of doing stuff like that. Llanowar, Gruul Spellbreaker for a blocker. I can't do anything else. Yep, that's fine. Opponent might just swing through it, though. I mean, if I was them, I would. If they swing out with no backup, I'll trade for a Viashino and just kill the Goblin Chainwhirler. But I think my opponent... Yeah, things are just a bit too efficient with a mono-red deck for us, I think. Yeah, would have really preferred to trade with the Viashino Pyromancer there. Not dead, but also I'm pretty dead. Oh yeah, so I see what you're doing there, opponent. Can block with 2 creatures, that's not enough. Good game. Yeah, mono-red, just not a great matchup for this deck. Not a great matchup. Currently 2 and 3 with this deck. This is a nice looking curve. Let's do this. Yep. Can shock ourselves with that. Llanowar Elves, Shana, Shalai. I like Shana in this deck, actually. Used to play cats a lot in the old standard, and reminds me of Pride Sovereign. Can just go ridiculously big if I needed to. Opponent taps out, more than happy with that. Can't punish them too much, but I can play Pel Collector and Shana. Seems good. This is the kind of start we want against Mono Blue. Big time. Big time. Because now our resources line up way better than theirs. Even if they get the Curious Obsession, yeah, it's annoying, but... it's not like they can counter Shalai. I've got a blocker for the Curious Obsession creature. Another Terramander, yeah, sure, but they're not going to grow anytime soon. I feel pretty good about where we're at right now. Let's get you. Yep, grow you again, swing out. Okay. That's a pretty good sign. It's a pretty good sign there, I think. Opponent just wants to swing with that. No, they can't swing through. And there you go. That's all you have to do against Mono Blue. And that's what this deck's capable of. Those really explosive starts. Or really explosive finishes as well. I think if they drew the Mono Blue nuts, I'd still be pretty happy. I'd still be pretty happy. It's not like they were going to have mana to counter Shalai, even if they, you know, had Dive Down, Curious Obsession, Mistcloak Herald, that kind of stuff. No green mana, I don't think I can keep that. I can't cast anything in my hand, so mullet. Yeah, hoping we draw a bit more action. Keep that. Pel Collector. Sure. Goes well with Crawl Harpooner. I don't like that I'm shocking myself, but... opponent has... probably means they have a shock if they left that up, or they just made a mistake and misclicked. Leroy 96. Do I Flower Flourish here to improve my draws? Do they play big flyers? Yeah, they play like Hydroid Crassus and stuff. So we will. Let's just flower. We've got our double white already. We've got lots of green. I'll get that one plains we have. If you want to counter it, go ahead, opponent. Oh, okay, sure. Next level plays, I suppose. We'll get this. That way, if we do get to Lyra, we don't have to shock ourselves in order to play it. Nice. Says to me the opponent probably doesn't have Wilderness Reclamation in hand. That is a strong answer to Wilderness Reclamation. Let's just not shock ourselves and play this. Play Essence Scatter and Wilderness Reclamation, team? Might do. Who knows? Very glad we have this in hand, and I really like having this toolbox answer in the deck. And even... Fine. And even if they don't have any targets for the life gain or the destroy stuff. So it comes down to whether opponent has an Essence Scatter right here, right now. There's Quench as well. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. You got it, opponent? You got it, opponent. This is a pretty clutch situation. Ooh, nice. That's pretty much going to end us, I think. We had the answer, it wasn't good enough. I'm going to save this because it takes care of the big Hydroid Crassus. Gonna counter Amara? Okay, yeah, they want to improve their draws. That's fair. Do I need to save this? Root Snare. Oh, they milled a Root Snare. Probably means they have another one in hand. I think I just got to play this out, but we're in a pretty bad spot here. Not being able to destroy the Wilderness Reclamation. I mean, look, you can see that we had the answer in hand. It just wasn't good enough. Sometimes this deck just does this. And they just need to draw the big expansion explosion, and then we're pretty much done. Let's play this. I think we haste it. Oh. Opponent! Ruthless! I won't play the land. That is ruthless. They don't even tap. Llanowar Elves, 18 turn beats. I mean, if my opponent just doesn't draw anything for 18 turns in a row. Get in there, Llanowar Elves. You can do this. The upside is if I draw heroic reinforcements, this gives me another 2 points of damage. So it's not completely useless at this stage of the game, but at the same time, it's pretty useless, and we are flooding. So is my opponent, but I feel like their deck works way better when they flood. They're not even stopping and using their mana. Sinister Sabotage? No. I mean, they'll fire it off against anything just to improve their draws. I don't have any good thing. That probably means they have something to do here. You got to hold control, opponent. This answers a Hydroid Crassus, which is not the end of the world. I assume they play 1 or 2 in this deck. I know you can't flash it in with Wilderness Reclamation and use up all that mana, I get that, but at the same time, they usually get to the late game. That's what their deck is designed to do. It's like they are flooding pretty badly. I feel like most of the time we wouldn't have this much time against the Teamer deck, but... we have a clean answer for that, so I'm not too put off by this. And I will fire this off immediately. Because I don't want them to untap their blue mana and counter this. Kill the Llanowar Elves. Alright, we're back to a 13-turn clock. Yeah, that's terrifying with Expansion Explosion as well. Okay, yeah. Opponent's got to have a cannon now, though. I really should be playing these lands so they can't syncopate as effectively. Oh man, I could have paid for it. Oh no. I should have done the math there. I don't know how we're still in this game. My opponent really should have put this away by this stage. But I'll keep playing it out till I see a win con. I'm not the kind of person that just scoops early. That's a Niv Mizzet without an answer in hand. I think that pretty much means I'm boned. I mean, opponent hasn't done anything. But just opt. That makes things pretty rough. Yeah, that's fine. Up to the top. No. Still to the bottom. Draws a card. Draws another card. Niv Mizzet's a machine. Great magic card. Yeah. Don't swing into open white mana. Come on, opponent. I mean, if they don't have the cannon to the Cruel Harpooner... Nice. Yeah, it is nice. Very clutch there as well. Alright, so we're back to seeing if my opponent can draw something to kill me. They've gone through half their deck. I definitely think it was a mistake for them to play this so early. I mean, they must have been really struggling on mana. Look, an expansion explosion here. I can't not play cards. I've got to keep swinging into this. Yeah. I mean, a 4-turn clock? This is getting ridiculous. Come on, opponent. Put this away. I can remove one of them. Or do I just... No, I'm on a 2-turn clock regardless, so I will kill one of these. It makes such little difference now. Or would it have been... No, I would have had lethal on board. Opponent's got a feigner draw step here. Land. Good game. Opponent can't do anything about this. Sure. Okay, we somehow got there against Team of Reclamation. Wow, yeah. I mean, with bad luck for the opponent there, they definitely should have had another expansion explosion. Going through half your deck and only drawing one, a bit rough. We answered 2 Niv Mizzets somehow. I mean, this deck is designed to be able to answer things pretty effectively. Not a bad pickup. Yeah, not going to play that. Not going to complain about that. Let's just play some regular old games. No more ranked stuff. I actually find in just the casual games we come up against gates a lot, and I want to show you guys the matchup with that because it is pretty rough. Any land gets me to Night of Autumn, and that actually works pretty good. It's actually very tempting. I will keep this, yeah. Draw a mountain off the top. Never didn't have it, hopefully. McJuice, good luck. Definitely lead with Amara. Just getting more chances to swing out with it. Forsaken Sanctuary. Probably looking at vampires. That pretty much indicates the free deck. If they play the Lord here, I'll trade with it. No. Maybe not vampires. Ah, red mana. Never didn't have it. Yeah. Let's go to the races. Hello, opponent. Sorry, I'll hello you as soon as I click on haste. Oh. The client went nuts. Did I hello? I didn't actually see. Hello! Got to be careful as well. If they play a Knight of Malice, I'm giving them that +1/+0 because of my white permanents. I mean, they've already got one as well, but just in case I remove it, have to have a think about that. I say we continue racing. Just keep playing more and more creatures. The more I play before Shana comes out, makes her bigger and bigger and bigger. That's fine. Foot squarely on the gas. Yeah, I get the impression my opponent's playing some kind of free deck you get with the client, which is fine. I'll be honest, I've lost to them plenty. It's always fun to see some crazy homebrews. Maybe it's the Knights deck, actually. That'd explain a lot. They can double block and just kill one of these without having to deal with anything on the backswing. But then they're still taking 3, and I don't mind that, to be honest. Crawl Harpooner is useless. I can Shana and Crawl Harpooner though. Double block, yeah, that's fine. Yep, just get the damage through. Gets him down to 8. Oh no, I've got lifelink. Ooh. Punt. Punt. That's great. That's great. Shana's a 4/4. Can't swing through that. Mind you, I've got to be mindful of pump spells here because a pump spell pretty much just kills Shana. I think I basically have to let it through if they decide to swing. The plank, yep, fair enough. I love that bubbly effect. I don't think I've ever seen that before. What you got, opponent? Removal. Yes, I think not swinging is the correct thing to do there, opponent. Let's just play one of these, make it huge. Put a couple of counters on it. I'm happy with that. Just keep dirtling until we get to 5 mana, and Tristani should really help us get through here. Sure. Fire off removal spells. Bit annoying that that actually doesn't work against Tristani. I wouldn't have minded if they held onto that. I think my opponent just has a heap of removal spells. All the Knights of Autumn. Gives me something to do while I wait for my land. Seems fine to me. I think the worst thing my opponent could do here is play the Lord. That's also annoying, I'll be honest. I've got removal spells that can deal with that. I am going wide though. The most frustrating thing about that is I've got my opponent at 10 life, and that's not going to be relevant soon. I can't swing into that, unfortunately. Very sad, very sad. Lots of first strike. Maybe this is a first strike tribal deck. There is that guy from Dominaria that gives all creatures with first strike double strike. Nope, that's fine. I'll take 5. I don't mind that because actually I can swing pretty hard on the crackback. Oh, which is actually super tempting here. Yeah, actually I'll kill Danitha and just swing out. Because I'm not blocking anything. They will eat something. And I'm actually fine with that. I still get my extra creature for doing this. Sure. Probably eats a Mara, I imagine. Doesn't eat anything. Okay, that's fine. That is some spice, opponent. Oh, wow. Okay, that's something you can do in standard. I mean, yeah, that's pretty fair. I didn't interact. If I swing out, yeah, wow, good game. Okay. Dear. And that's what can happen if you don't get through. Opponent can just do something really janky. I get the impression that my opponent must have cracked Blackblade Reforged in like a draft or something and thought, well, I better build a deck around this. I mean, I've done that before. It's always great fun. Yeah, I mean, I got to draw something, but I got removal. Won't be happy against mono red, but we'll see. Green, yeah, I feel pretty good about facing against green with this hand. Mono green? Slow mono green? I like slow mono green. Incubation Druid. Unfortunately, Justice Strike is never able to take care of that. If they're playing green, is this relevant against enchantments? I don't think it is. I'm not going to wait any longer. Apart from anything else, I get heroic reinforcements with this next turn. So growing it feels good. Don't have a Justice Strike, Lightning Strike. Oh, is this Elf Fireball? Elf Banefire thingamajig. Yes, that Saffron Olive deck. Ooh, I hope so. That deck looks awesome. Do I take off a turn with Marwyn out? Yeah, I do. Let's go for it. If I have a chance to use heroic reinforcements and everything is a bad trade, swing for 9. That feels alright. And I got Lyra for next turn. Or double Justice Strike. I can get rid of Marwyn and Llanowar Elves. Oh! Opponent! See, you go into the casual queue and you get all these really janky things. Elves and Mirror March. What elf has a dope enter the battlefield trigger? You know what? I'm not going to be a spoil sport. I'm not going to be a spoil sport. If opponent wants to use Mirror March, I'm not going to stop them from doing that. I'm just going to drop Lyra. I'm not going to kill all these things. Give my opponent every opportunity to do any kind of busted stuff they want to do, because I want to see what they've got. Darchinator. Darchinator? I mean, there is a way they could potentially win the game. Yeah, they got one. I mean, it lines up badly against Lyra. It doesn't really make much of a difference. I suppose that's fair. It still doesn't matter. Oh, opponent! Oh, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. Okay, I'm just gonna eat a Lord. I still think I win this, but that's beautiful. That was awesome. I've never seen such good luck with Mirror March, and that was like average odds. Everything got like 1 or 2, which I think is what you should expect. That was hilarious. That was the best thing ever. Okay, I've got to kill Marwyn. I've let my opponent do their crazy stuff. Do I kill this and start swinging? That was so dumb. I love it. I love it so much. Probably. Oh, I can kill the Lord and just swing out. Yeah, sorry, opponent. You had your fun. You had your fun. Okay. Well, that was a good way to end the video. Man, I love janky brews. It's such a fun thing about Magic. I like the competitive stuff. I like the janky stuff. It's all good fun. Anyway, that was a aggro / mid-rangey Naya deck that I've been working on. Really love playing with it. It's sort of my pet deck project at this point in time on Magic Arena. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions about what I should play or how I should improve my decks, please feel free to say so. Do not forget to like and subscribe, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Reddit. Please consider supporting my Patreon. And thank you so much to everyone who has supported the Patreon up to this point, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.